When crafting a motorcycle, most manufacturers prioritize balance, strength, and speed. However, there are some who prioritize design over all of that. So much so that the motorcycle turns out ridiculous and impractical at the end of the day. Welcome back, riders. Today, we're diving into the world of cruiser motorcycles, specifically the ones that dealers can't seem to get off their showroom floors fast enough. These aren't just any motorcycles. These are the models that looked great on paper but failed miserably in execution. From outdated technology to reliability nightmares, excessive pricing to poor handling, we're going to explore 15 cruiser motorcycles that dealerships are practically begging customers to take off their hands. Before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our content. Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with the Harley-Davidson Street 750, the legendary Harley craftsmanship. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Street 750. Once touted as Harley's gateway drug into their lineup, the Street 750 has become a model dealers are desperate to move. Introduced as Harley's attempt to capture younger riders, this liquid-cooled machine fell flat in numerous ways. First off, the build quality is noticeably inferior to what you'd expect from a Harley-Davidson. Cheap fasteners, flimsy switchgear, and paint that seems to chip if you look at it too hard. It's a far cry from the legendary Harley craftsmanship. The braking system borders on dangerous. Early models had spongy, unpredictable brakes that required a recall. Even with updates, they never inspired confidence. Then, there's the engine. Harley riders expect that distinctive rumble and mechanical connection. The Street 750 delivers neither. Instead, it produces a generic exhaust note that could belong to any mass-market motorcycle. Next up at number 2, we have Indian Chief Dark Horse. Number 2, Indian Chief Dark Horse. The Indian Chief Dark Horse appears stunning at first glance with its blacked-out aesthetics and imposing presence. However, dealers are quietly offering massive discounts on 2016 to 2018 models due to significant electrical gremlins that plagued these years. Owners have reported complete electrical system failures, often leaving riders stranded. The dashboard displays are prone to glitching, sometimes showing incorrect information, not something you want happening at highway speeds. Multiple recalls have addressed various issues, but consumer confidence is understandably shaken. The Thunderstroke 111 engine, while powerful, is notorious for oil leaks in these model years. The fix isn't simple either. It often requires extensive disassembly and expensive replacements. Coming up at number 3 is the Suzuki Boulevard M109R B.O.S.S. Number 3. Suzuki Boulevard M109R B.O.S.S. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R B.O.S.S. blacked-out Special Suzuki looks menacing with its massive 1,800cc V-twin engine and aggressive styling. So why are dealers struggling to sell them? It comes down to a bike that's stuck in the past. This power cruiser hasn't seen meaningful updates in over a decade. While competitors have introduced modern technology and rider aids, the M109R soldiers on, with virtually the same technology it had in 2006. No ride modes, no traction control, not even standard ABS on many years. In today's market, that's simply unacceptable at its price point. The riding position is another major issue. The stretched-out ergonomics combine with a stiff suspension to create a bike that's genuinely uncomfortable on anything but the smoothest roads. Long rides become endurance tests rather than enjoyable experiences. At number 4, we have Victory Vegas 8-Ball, which no longer exists. Number 4. Victory Vegas 8-Ball. When Polaris abruptly shuttered Victory motorcycles in 2017, they left dealers with showrooms full of orphaned bikes. Among these, the Vegas 8-ball has become particularly difficult to move, despite its striking low-slung styling. The most obvious issue is that victory no longer exists. This means no factory warranty support, diminishing parts availability, and mechanics who are increasingly unfamiliar with the brand. What happens when your motorcycle needs a specialized part 5 years from now? No one can answer that question with certainty. Beyond the orphaned brand concerns, the Vegas 8-ball has its own set of problems. The 106 cubic inch Freedom V-twin engine, while powerful, vibrates excessively at highway speeds, numbing hands and creating mirror images that resemble abstract art more than traffic behind you. The low seat height that looks so cool presents practical problems. The scant 5.6 inches of ground clearance means scraping is not just possible, but inevitable in corners. Dealers still sitting on these motorcycles are offering them at fire sale prices, sometimes 40% below their original MSRP. Next up, we have Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Number 5. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Kawasaki's attempt to capture the American bagger market with the Vulcan 1700 Vaquero has resulted in dealer inventory that seems permanently anchored to showroom floors. The first issue is the bike's massive weight. At 844 pounds wet, the Vaquero is one of the heaviest baggers in its class. This weight makes itself known at low speeds, where wrestling this behemoth through parking lots becomes a true test of strength. Drop it once, and you'll need help getting it upright again. The outdated technology is glaring in today's market. The instrument cluster and infotainment system look and function like they're from a decade ago, because they essentially are. In an era where competitors offer touchscreens and smartphone integration, the Vaquero's dated tech is a significant deterrent. Heat management is another major concern. The Big V-twin pumps out tremendous heat that gets trapped under the fairing and roasts the rider's legs. In traffic on hot days, it's less of a motorcycle and more of a mobile sauna. Perhaps most damning is the Vaquero's uninspired engine character. The 1700cc V-twin should deliver soul-stirring power, but instead produces a flat, uninspiring performance that lacks the charisma riders expect from a premium cruiser. Dealers are regularly discounting these bikes by thousands, eager to make room for models that actually generate customer interest. Some are even packaging them with free accessories and extended warranties, desperate measures that speak volumes about the Vaquero's market appeal. At number 6, let's discuss about Moto Guzzi California 1400 Touring. Number 6. Moto Guzzi California 1400 Touring. The Moto Guzzi California 1400 Touring presents itself as an exclusive European alternative to American cruisers. Its distinctive transverse V-twin engine and Italian styling certainly turn heads. However, dealers across the country are finding these bikes incredibly difficult to sell. The primary issue is the dealership network, or lack thereof. Moto Guzzi has so few dealers in North America that owning one becomes a logistical nightmare. Need service? Be prepared to trailer your bike hundreds of miles. This sparse network makes potential buyers understandably nervous. While the unique sideways V-twin engine is visually interesting, it creates peculiar handling characteristics. The torque reaction causes the bike to rock slightly to the right when you rev the engine, a quirk some find charming, but others find disconcerting. The electronic ride-by-wire throttle has received consistent criticism for its snatchy, unpredictable response. This makes smooth riding at low speeds challenging, exactly when you need precise control on a heavy cruiser. Dealers who convinced themselves that American riders were clamoring for Italian cruisers are now offering these bikes at steep discounts, sometimes $4,000 to $5,000 below MSRP. Taking the number 7 spot, Honda Fury. Number 7. Honda Fury. When Honda introduced the Fury in 2010, It was heralded as the first production chopper from a major manufacturer. With its raked-out front end and clean lines, it certainly looks the part. So why are dealers having such a hard time selling them? The Fury suffers from an identity crisis. It's trying to be a rebellious chopper while maintaining Honda's reputation for sensible reliability. The result is a bike that appeals to neither traditional chopper enthusiasts, who want something more extreme and customizable, nor typical Honda buyers, who want something more practical. The stretched-out riding position looks cool in photos, but becomes punishing on anything longer than a brief ride. The extreme rake of the front end makes low-speed handling unpredictable at best and nerve-wracking at worst. Parking lot maneuvers that would be trivial on most cruisers become true tests of skill on the Fury. Perhaps the biggest issue is the engine. The 1312cc V-twin is silky smooth and utterly reliable, which is precisely the problem. Chopper riders typically want an engine with character, vibration, and a thunderous exhaust note. The Fury's refined power delivery feels at odds with its rebellious styling. The lack of aftermarket support further dampens enthusiasm. Dealers have resorted to significant discounts, often $2,000 to $3,000 below MSRP, and extended warranty offers to move these motorcycles. Some have had the same Fury on display for multiple model years, a clear sign of stagnant consumer interest. At number 8, we have Suzuki Boulevard C90T. Number 8. Suzuki Boulevard C90T. Suzuki's Boulevard C90T aims to be a comfortable touring cruiser with its large windshield and hard saddlebags. Unfortunately, it's become a model that dealers struggle to move, even with aggressive pricing. The chief complaint centers around the antiquated technology. In 2025, the C90T still uses a carbureted engine, while virtually every competitor has long since moved to fuel injection. This creates cold starting issues, altitude sensitivity, and the need for more frequent maintenance adjustments. The touring amenities that should be its strength are actually liabilities. The hard saddlebags have insufficient capacity for serious touring, yet they're too bulky for around-town riding. The windshield, while large, creates significant buffeting at highway speeds that exhausts riders on longer trips. Weight distribution is another critical issue. At 800 pounds fully fueled, the C90T carries its weight high, making it feel top-heavy and unstable during low-speed maneuvers. This problem is exacerbated by a seat height that's challenging for shorter riders. The final straw for many potential buyers is the braking system. The single front disc is woefully inadequate for safely stopping such a heavy motorcycle, especially when loaded with a passenger and gear. Emergency stops require significant forethought and distance, a safety concern that sends buyers looking elsewhere. Faced with these issues, dealers are slashing prices dramatically, sometimes offering these bikes at 30% below MSRP. Even with such steep discounts, the C90T continues to occupy precious floor space in dealerships nationwide. Moving on the next, which is B.O.S. Haas V8 Cruiser. Number 9. B.O.S. Haas V8 Cruiser. The B.O.S. Haas V8 Cruiser makes a statement like no other motorcycle. Its Chevrolet V8 engine is impossible to miss or ignore. However, dealers who thought these attention-grabbing machines would sell themselves are finding them nearly impossible to move. The most obvious issue is practicality, or the complete lack thereof. With a wet weight approaching 1,100 pounds, the B.O.S. Haas is effectively unmanageable in many real-world situations. Tight turns, U-turns, and parking lot maneuvers become feats of strength rather than riding skill. Drop this bike, and you'll likely need multiple people to help get it upright again. Fuel economy is abysmal. Owners report getting as little as 15 miles per gallon. Combined with a relatively small fuel tank, this gives the B.O.S. Haas an extremely limited range. Long rides become exercises in gas station route planning. Heat management is perhaps the most unbearable issue. With a massive V8 engine sitting inches from the rider's legs, the B.O.S. turns into a rolling furnace. In summer conditions, riders describe the experience as being strapped to a radiator, not exactly the pleasant cruising experience most riders seek. Service and maintenance present another significant hurdle. While the Chevrolet engine components are widely available, finding mechanics who are comfortable working on this hybrid of automotive and motorcycle technology proves challenging. Many motorcycle shops simply refuse to service them. Dealers who invested in B.O.S. inventory are now offering dramatic price reductions, sometimes $10,000 or more below MSRP. Next up, we have Yamaha Star Venture. Number 10. Yamaha Star Venture. When Yamaha introduced the Star Venture in 2018, it was positioned as a technologically advanced luxury tourer to compete with Harley-Davidson and Indian. Despite its impressive specs on paper, dealers are struggling to move these machines. The root of the problem lies in its massive size and weight. At 963 pounds wet, the Star Venture is one of the heaviest motorcycles on the market. This extreme weight makes itself known in every aspect of riding, from low-speed maneuvering to highway handling. Even experienced riders find it intimidating. The 1854 cubic centimeter V-twin should deliver exhilarating performance, but instead produces a character-free riding experience that feels sterile compared to its American competitors. Heat management represents another significant issue. Riders report their legs being cooked during summer riding, a problem exacerbated in stop-and-go traffic. With these issues in mind, dealers are offering substantial incentives, often $3,000 to $4,000 below MSRP, along with free accessories and extended warranty coverage, taking the number 11 spot Triumph Rocket 3 TFC. Number 11. Triumph Rocket 3 TFC. The Triumph Rocket 3 TFC boasts the world's largest production motorcycle engine, a 2,500cc inline triple producing an astounding 180 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque. On paper, it's a performance monster. In reality, it's become inventory that dealers struggle to move. The limited production run of 750 units worldwide initially created a sense of exclusivity, with some dealers marking up prices above the already substantial $29,000 MSRP. The weight, over 700 pounds, combined with the wide engine case, makes low-speed handling cumbersome. The turning radius is so large that U-turns on normal roads often become three-point turns. Fuel consumption borders on excessive, with riders reporting averages of 25 to 28 miles per gallon under normal riding conditions. This gives the bike a practical range of just over 100 miles, insufficient for a motorcycle in the cruiser to touring segment. Dealers who eagerly signed up for allocation of these limited edition motorcycles are now offering them at or below MSRP, a dramatic shift from the initial markup strategy. Next up, we have Harley-Davidson FXDR. Number 12. Harley-Davidson FXDR 114. When Harley-Davidson introduced the FXDR 114 in 2019, it represented the motor company's attempt to capture the performance cruiser market. With aggressive styling and the powerful Milwaukee 8114 engine, it seemed positioned for success. Instead, it's become a model that dealers can't wait to clear from their inventory. The FXDR suffers from a fundamental identity crisis. It's marketed as a performance machine, yet its extended wheelbase and raked-out front end create handling that feels sluggish compared to true performance motorcycles. It's too radical for traditional Harley buyers, but not sporty enough for riders coming from performance-oriented brands. Perhaps most damaging to its appeal is the price. With an MSRP starting around $21,000, the FXDR carries a premium price without delivering premium performance. Competitors offer significantly better performance metrics at similar or lower price points. Dealers who stocked up on these models are now offering discounts of $3,000 to $4,000, eager to make room for more popular Harley models. Breaking into our top 13, which is Hyosung G V650 Aquila Pro. Number 13, Hyosung G V650 Aquila Pro. The Hyosung G V650 Aquila Pro attempts to offer the cruiser experience at a budget price point. While the value proposition sounds appealing, dealers who brought these Korean cruisers into their inventory are finding them exceptionally difficult to move. First impressions matter, and the Aquila Pro's fit and finish immediately reveal its budget origins. Paint quality is inconsistent, chrome plating is thin and prone to pitting, and plastic components feel brittle compared to Japanese or American alternatives. Within a single season of riding, many Aquilas look significantly weathered. The 650cc V-twin engine, while adequate on paper, suffers from persistent fueling issues. Riders report surging at steady throttle, cold starting difficulties, and an overall lack of refinement that makes smooth riding challenging. Dealers who thought these budget cruisers would attract entry-level riders are now offering them at substantial discounts, sometimes 25 to 30% below MSRP. Even at these reduced prices, the long-term ownership concerns make them a hard sell compared to used Japanese alternatives. Taking the 14th spot, we have Indian Springfield Dark Horse. Number 14, Indian Springfield Dark Horse. The Indian Springfield Dark Horse presents itself as a premium bagger with its Thunderstroke 116 engine and blacked-out aesthetics. However, dealers are finding this particular model increasingly difficult to move, especially as newer options enter the market. The primary issue is its placement within Indian's lineup. Positioned between the Chief and the Chieftain, the Springfield Dark Horse occupies an awkward middle ground that satisfies few riders. Those wanting a stripped-down cruiser prefer the Chief's simplicity and lower price, while riders seeking touring comfort gravitate toward the Chieftain's additional features. Weight distribution creates handling issues that owners consistently mention. At low speeds, particularly in tight U-turns, the Springfield Dark Horse feels top-heavy and unwieldy. This characteristic is especially pronounced with its stock suspension settings, which many riders find too stiff for comfortable cruising. Number 15, Ducati XDiavel. The Ducati XDiavel represents the Italian manufacturer's attempt to enter the cruiser market. With its forward controls, belt drive, and stretched silhouette, it looks the part. However, dealers who hoped it would attract traditional cruiser buyers are finding these premium machines surprisingly difficult to sell. The XDiavel occupies an unusual position in the market, too radical for traditional cruiser riders and too cruiser-like for typical Ducati enthusiasts. This identity crisis results in a narrow potential customer base, making them slow-moving inventory for many dealerships. There you have it, riders. 15 cruiser motorcycles that dealers can't wait to clear from their showrooms. Whether it's due to outdated technology, reliability concerns, orphaned brands, or simply poor execution of an otherwise good concept, these bikes share one common trait. They're available at steep discounts if you're willing to accept their compromises. Does this mean you should avoid these motorcycles entirely? Not necessarily. If you understand the limitations and the price is right, some of these could still be viable options. Just remember that there's usually a reason when a particular model is being offered at thousands below MSRP. What are your thoughts? Have you ridden any of these motorcycles? Would you consider one at a significant discount? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content about motorcycles, riding, and everything two-wheeled. Until next time, keep the shiny side up.